Welcome to the bold analysis. The NADCO report that was passed in Parliament 2 weeks ago envisioned or proposed a report, or rather proposed an audit body just to relook 2022 general election as a benchmark of election reforms moving forward. And in that document, the proposal was that Azimio la Umoja should nominate 3 members to that audit committee, and Kenya Kwanza also to nominate 3 members to be members of that committee. And in any case, and so that committee was supposed to decide to sit down and find a credible body that can do audit of the election process in the last election 2022. In any case, they could not agree. Then both Azimio and Kenya Kwanza were supposed to pick different bodies. Then the two to do their research or to do their work, their audit concurrently. Then the reports will be compared. But away from that, and of course, moving to that, Azimio nominated Amos Wako to lead the delegation from the Azimio la Umoja side. But part of the big TOR, why Azimio la Umoja pushed through with the audit of the last polls, the TOR was to ensure that Cherera and the camp must sit who are currently outside the country out of fear of reprimand and intimidation by the Kenya Kwanza administration, was supposed to get state reprieve, return in the country, and also give in-person views and input on what exactly happened in the last election. And what Raila Odinga team were also pushing was to ensure that the 2 daughters of this country that are currently in exile simply because they differed with the results that Wafula Chebukati announced were supposed to be given reprieve to come back in the country. Raila Odinga pushed for finality on the 2022 elections, and of course that has now been necessitated by the current move to go to seek chairmanship at the African Union Commission, a body that is optimistic that he is going to get the job, or a job that really requires the input of Ruto administration in terms of lobbying to ensure that he gets the goodwill and the backing of even President Ruto as a person to get to that position. However, what is emerging is that while Azimio were pushing for all to come, Wafula Chebukati, who was touted as the hero of the last election, at one point Raila Odinga even announced that William Ruto wanted him and the former IEBC Commissioner Isaac Hassan to be absorbed in the judiciary, and we saw Isaac Hassan was absorbed. Wafula Chebukati is a bit adamant and is looking at the audit of the last election as a trivial exercise, because according to him and his camp, they did a good job that just need to be emulated with the new office bearers. And while Azimio were pushing for the Cherera 4 to jet in behind the scene, the other side of the divide seems adamant and are not giving conducive environment for the Chereras to jet back. Instead, what has happened is that Kenya Kwanza has moved 2 motions. Number 1 is to amend the Elections Act 2016 so that any other person that will be charged of an attempt of delaying results can face 5 years jail term. And that amendment is probably looking at, if indeed the rest are going to be charged as Kenya Kwanza wanted, they'll fall under that move. Number two, there've also been a hatched strategy to ensure, or rather a hatched amendment to ensure that IEBC Commission can operate with the Secretariat without the Commission, so that the Secretariat can be able to even do boundaries delimitation and also conduct by-elections. That bit of the landscape of that NADCO report in relative to issues of IEBC. Now, Raila Odinga wants Cherera 4 and the team to camp, to jet back in the country. And I think I want to make a passionate appeal that we need to be very truthful too. The current political dynamic emerging, where Raila Odinga is having, a soft spot with the President William Ruto, must involve and should involve the IEBC commissioners, those IEBC commissioners that are out of the country simply because they went against the Bukati results, to be given reprieve back in the country. This is something that I think the country was even united, that after Ruto and after Raila Uhuru handshake, the country was still asking why Miguna, the court orders, numerous court orders for Miguna to be brought back were not obeyed. But of course, there is a different dynamics as to why Miguna had to stay outside, because even himself, he was so combative and abusive of even the administration. Even himself, I don't think he will be comfortable coming back. But there seems now to be a clear indication that President Ruto and the team are not really keen on settling in, or rather ceasefire with the Cherera 4. I want to look at that development keenly, but before I delve deep into that, I want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. Apart from political analysis, also supporting our charity projects. We don't take it for granted, and we say, may God bless you. May God bless you abundantly. I know quite a number reaching out, but we are not doing any project this month. I know I have quite a number. We are not doing any project this month. We'll do a project next month in April. But we believe and I pray that God would really take you through what you're going through. Now, this is why Raila should ensure that Cherera 4 is back. It's politically, it's critically, it's ethically the right thing. Sometimes I say, there is nothing as good as doing the right thing. Because when you do the right thing, you're not conflicted. Cherera team bears unspoken truth about the IEBC body. And while we must not have Cherera 4 as a flashback, but their experience, their experience at the commission, looking even with the previous ones, it's a very good lesson that we can gather things that we need to do in that body moving forward. And I think as analysts, we really deeply looked at what happened, the corporate governance issues that were at the commission, on how duties were delegated to individual commissioners at the behest of the real work on the election process. And these are issues that we cannot just rub them off unless we don't mean well for election reforms. Because I think we've not done reforms. And if there is something that should have a clamor for election reforms, is what happened in 2022. whether it's Raila Odinga's benefit or to William Ruto's benefit. If William Ruto feel genuinely he won and someone wanted to snatch power, you need those reforms to look at that. If Raila Odinga camp also see a win, a victory, but was snatched back, you see the real reason why we need to look at the Cherera. So instead of demonizing them, that they can't be in this country, this is their motherland, because of security issues, someone is going after them and this and that, I think we need to have the Cherera for. And I know many of our subscribers here will agree with me on this. Number 2, being part of the election management should not be a career destroyer in this country. We are setting a very wrong precedence that if you are in the polls body, then after an election, if you want to finish your career, then you go to IEBC. We set a very wrong precedence. And if there is a review, I know that some three resigned voluntarily. Masit went to the wire, and she actually lost in the tribunal. And for her, maybe fate is sealed, but the rest still also need to maybe benefit. It is not it really, the country is not sure whether they still continue to enjoy those privileges that they were supposed to enjoy as ex-commissioners, just like the Chebukati camp. So this trend of if you participate in election management process at such a higher level, then that's a career destroyer, I don't think is a good precedence, because we also need to have that institutional discipline. Number 4, the court dalliance with Ruto ended, and so I know by that time all that intimidation and threats thrived in some contempt of court and, you know, just breach of law. They need to look at ways of looking for their rights. Now, we need to put a closure on elections by accommodating divergent views. We've put a closure. I think Raila Odinga put a closure. Let William Ruto win. As to whether he won or he did not win or anything, the closure is let William Ruto finish his term. Then after 5 years, the country will relook and agree whether they need to change custody, of they need to change leadership, or they still need to continue with William Ruto. But I'm looking at this keenly because we need to get the right things right. Thank you.
Hi guys, so I'm so happy finally the February project is done. I know most of us have been talking about this. We did know it will come to fruition, but I'm in Mama Lucy and I've managed to get 13 out. Yes, I was planning for 7, but who knows, eh? God has another way of doing his own things. That we managed to our to 13, and apart from that, we've also done some food stuff because you know these guys hawa mama wamekuwa hospitali for long na hawajakuwa wakifanya kazi. So what we decided is whatever has remained, we do some food stuff for them. And I'm just so happy that they are going home, wanted to reunite with the rest of their family. Some have been here for long, so I just want to say thank you on behalf of Bold Charity Network, my family, myself, and everyone. In whatever way you've come through this, nasema santeni sana. These women are out. Now I'll just give 2 or 3 chances. Waseme tu kitu moja. You can just say thank you. Tanzania huyu.
Tumeshukuru. Okay, my name is Winnie Oduor. Tumeshukuru kwa kuja kututoa huku. Tumekaa huku for long na the bill was too much yenye hatungeweza ku afford. But Bold Charity Network imekuja ikatutoa na tunasema ni asante.
Naitwa Teresia Wanjiru ama Mama Favor. Na nataka kuambia asante kwa sababu bili ilikuwa mob, singeweza kulipa, but kwa ajili ya Mungu ati ni mimi natoka. Asante, God bless you all.
Aya, huyu. Nani mwingine anaweza ongea? Wewe, sivyo? Sema kitu. Sema tu asante.
Mimi nitakushukuru ni kusema asante kwa Mungu. Tumekuwa huku for a long time. Kama mimi nilidischangiwa on 15 Nimeng'ang'ana, nikang'ang'ana, nikapata, nikalipa, nikaambiwa nirudi kwa ward. Saa hii I'm very happy. Niko out, nitaenda sasa kuungana na familia yangu. Asanteni sana.
Mimi naitwa Lydia Chelimo. Pili yangu ilitoka date 16. But singe manage kulipa, but court ameniwezesha nimetoka huku, nitatoka leo. Nimeshukuru sana na nimefurahi.
Yeah, so guys, that was it. I had to give you this confirmation that finally to manage, and may God meet you in the hour of need. I spent 2 days here listening to their stories, and their stories are a testament of how we need to come for the society. For all those who participated in this bold charity network, this was our CSR for the month of February. Akimbarikiwe. We will do this next time. Asanteni sana. I'm more happy than them. Asanteni. Sawa.